Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Mr. President, ministers, honored guests, friends, good evening and welcome. Kalispera, kalasorisite, iyi akşamlar, hoş geldiniz. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate the 246th birthday of the United States of America. And a hearty thank you to our many sponsors whose generosity helped make this evening possible. You saw their names displayed on our sponsorship board as you walked in tonight. Their partnership is essential as we build and strengthen U.S. Cypriot ties. Last month, Cyprus lost a dedicated public servant and a dear friend to many of us gathered here today, the late Minister of Labor and Social Insurance, Zeta Emilianidou. While we continue to mourn her untimely passing, we are comforted by the fact that her indelible legacy of progress and tireless service to others lives on. As Cyprus emerges from one of the worst wildfires on records, we applaud the bravery of Cypriot, Israeli, Turkish, and British first responders and volunteers whose selfless actions ensured no lives were lost in the recent tragedy. We are also deeply heartened by the quick and substantial support offered from across the island and the region. This united response illustrates the limitless potential of communities rising in solidarity to achieve a common good. For Americans, Independence Day is about our united purpose. It is a time to reconnect, remember our history, and renew our commitment to our democratic experiment, imperfect but ever striving for a more perfect union, incomplete but endlessly working towards a more equitable, more inclusive future for all. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial. Tonight, I'd like to reflect on all that President Abraham Lincoln represents. A selfless hero who guided America through her darkest hour. A legendary orator who united a people divided against itself. An immovable champion of peace, justice, and human rights for all. And now, more than ever, we take inspiration from his resolve. Across the globe, democracies are confronted with creeping authoritarianism, rising inequality, and malign influences. Today, we witness innocent men, women, and children driven from their homes by an autocrat bent on Ukraine's annihilation. In his address to Congress in 1861, President Lincoln declared, "Important principles can and must be inflexible." The world has changed greatly in the last 160 years, but the truth of Lincoln's words endures. In defense of democracy and the fundamental freedoms owed to every individual, there can be no concessions. The resolve of the United States and our allies and partners across the globe will not waver. When the history of this era is written, it will reveal the Kremlin's choice to launch an unprovoked, unjust, and premeditated war against Ukraine for the craven act it is. And it will remember a Cypriot people who joined the unprecedented global sanctions campaign against the aggressors and who did not hesitate to open their homes and their hearts to victims of this senseless war. We applaud Cyprus not only for its resounding solidarity with the people of Ukraine, but for its partnership on economic and security issues, for reaffirming its commitment to our shared interests, and for safeguarding civil liberties for people the world over. I am proud to see representatives of the island's outstanding non-governmental organizations with us here today. As citizen activists, you work tirelessly to bring about societies in which people, all people, can thrive irrespective of race, religion, disability, or sexual orientation. You continue to embody what President Lincoln once wisely observed: nothing in this world is impossible to a willing heart. It is our earnest hope your efforts will soon benefit a united Cyprus. The United States continues to support the leaders of the Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot communities, facilitated by the United Nations, to forge a just and lasting settlement that will reunify the island as a bizonal, bicommunal federation. We commend recent efforts to forge confidence-building measures to improve the lives of Cypriots across the island. We hope these will bear fruit and bring all Cypriots closer together. We firmly believe a reunited island offers a better and stronger future for all Cypriots. As I look out at our friends and partners celebrating with us this evening, I proudly reflect on all we have accomplished together. Just 3 months ago, Undersecretary of State Victoria Nuland helped inaugurate the Cyprus Center for Land, Open Seas, and Port Security. Cyclops, as it's better known, is both the product and symbol of our growing security partnership. This state-of-the-art facility provides technical assistance and training to regional partners in areas including customs and exports control, maritime security, and sanctions implementation. Our growing partnership also includes economic security, a critical but sometimes overlooked element of national security. Here, too, the United States has worked to foster closer ties with Cyprus to grow and diversify its economy. I was honored the Republic of Cyprus selected the United States as its partner of choice for its first Economic Diplomacy Action Plan. In the past year, several U.S. companies won contracts in Cyprus or committed to new investments here. My team and I continue to support trade delegations and other outreach to the U.S. market to strengthen our bilateral economic ties. We are proud American energy companies are leading the exploration and development of Cyprus's offshore hydrocarbon resources, and we continue to believe these resources should be shared equitably between both communities. I am also confident American companies will lead the charge to deploy renewable energy resources on the island. We welcome the Republic of Cyprus's commitment to support marine conservation and sustainable development at the 2022 Our Oceans Conference. Together, we are working to leverage Cypriot climate science expertise to spur ambitious, tailored regional action to enhance resilience and mitigate climate change in the Eastern Mediterranean. In my 3 years here in Cyprus, I've also witnessed a period of unparalleled growth in the personal connections of our people. This year, for the first time, Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot students are participating right now in our Tech Girls program, traveling to America for hands-on training in science, technology, engineering, and math. Our American corners at Cyprus University of Technology and Near East University continue to foster engagement and symbolize our commitment to that core tenet of democracy, free access to information. At the close of the American Civil War, as activists and ordinary citizens worked to rebuild, Abraham Lincoln declared, "Commitment transforms promise into reality." These are not words we simply remember, but words we strive to live by. By expanding our collaboration in regional security, business, environment, cultural and educational exchange, the United States wholeheartedly commits to advancing the prosperity of all Cypriots. By continually strengthening the principles of democracy, rights-respecting societies commit to creating a fairer, freer world for all. Though the challenges of rising authoritarianism, global climate change, and regional security may be great, so too is the potential of democracies acting together towards the promise of peace, equality, and fundamental freedoms. Ενισχύοντας συνεχώς τις αρχές της δημοκρατίας, οι κοινωνίες που σέβονται τα δικαιώματα δεσμεύονται να δημιουργήσουν ένα δικαιότερο, πιο ελεύθερο κόσμο για όλους. Αν και οι προκλήσεις του αυξανόμενου αυταρχισμού, της παγκόσμιας κλιματικής αλλαγής και της περιφερειακής ασφάλειας μπορεί να είναι μεγάλες, το ίδιο ισχύει Kayati dinamiki ton demokration pu energun apokinu yatin proothisi tis erinis, tis isotitas keton vasikon eleftherion. Haklara segala olan toplumlar demokrasi ilkelerini sorekli güçlendirerek herkes için daha adil ve özgür bir dünya yaratmayı taahhüt eder. Artışta alın otoriterlik, küresel iklim değişikliği ve bölgesel güvenliğin zorluklara büyük olsa da demokrasilerin barış, eşitlik ve temel özgürlük vaadi için birlikte hareket etme potansiyeli de büyüktür. As I reflect on the future of our strong partnership, I know the best is yet to come. Καθώς αναλογίζουμε το μέλλον της ισχυρής μας συνεργασίας, ξέρω ότι τα καλύτερα επόνται. Güçlü ortaklığımızın geleceğini düşünürken biliyorum ki bizi çok daha iyi şeyler bekliyor. Mr. President, we are truly honored to have you with us here tonight, and I invite you to give a few remarks.
Your Excellency Ambassador Garper, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and a pleasure to join you on the occasion of the 246th anniversary of the independence of the United States of America. We celebrate a truly special day for the United States when Thomas Jefferson and the other founding fathers created the Declaration of Independence, a historic statement that structured democratic governance and formed a new nation. A statement whose ideals and legacy of freedom, equality, liberty, justice, and prosperity inspired numerous movements that followed thereafter in pursuit of independence and freedom. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on this day of celebration, I wish to express my sincere appreciation for the excellent and growing partnership we have established these past years between Cyprus and the United States, and for the shared vision to further enhance it in a tangible manner. Our relationship has notably progressed to one of strategic depth through, amongst others, the signing of a statement of intent on security issues with the aim of strengthening our bilateral relations by outlining specific steps of enhanced cooperation at all levels and in addressing common challenges and problems. Our joint commitment and close cooperation in the fight against terrorism, human and drugs trafficking, cyber and maritime security. The United States investments in Cyclops, an excellent regional training center which brings closer together Cyprus, the United States, and other partners in crucial security fields. The involvement of American energy giants, namely ExxonMobil, Noble, and now Chevron, in our exclusive economic zone, which constitutes another tangible sign of trust in the role of Cyprus as a reliable regional actor. The Eastern Mediterranean Security and Energy Partnership Act, which establishes the institutional framework for energy and security cooperation between the United States and Cyprus, Greece, Israel, and an act through which the United States partially lifted its arms embargo on Cyprus. The United States' support to the numerous trilateral mechanisms of cooperation we have established with the aim to foster regional predictability and stability, in particular through the 3+1 platform we have set up with Greece and Israel, and the United States' participation as an observer in the East Med Gas Forum. The above-mentioned initiatives and developments are already yielding concrete results for both our countries as well as for key allies in the Eastern Mediterranean. And I wish to assure you, Ambassador Garber, of my government's and personal determination and commitment to continue working closely with the United States administration in order to explore new areas of beneficial cooperation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Declaration's ideals and values of the right for the people to be able to freely dictate their fate within their nation without external interventions not only constitutes a fundamental principle of international relations and of the UN Charter, but becomes even more relevant and necessary following the Russian invasion on Ukraine, an invasion which the international community not only immediately condemned, but also demonstrated its unwavering solidarity to the Ukrainian people through political, financial, humanitarian, and military support. At the same time, we have been clear in our stance of urging for the need for diplomacy and prudence to prevail so as to bring about a ceasefire and pave the way for ending this devastating war at our continent. A war in the heart of Europe, which has painful resemblances from Cyprus' own experience, since Moscow's excuses of allegedly trying to protect Russian-speaking citizens of Ukraine has been used in the same manner as a pretext to invade Cyprus, for the invasion in Cyprus in 1974 by Turkey. But even in the face of adversity, we recall once again the Declaration's ideals of freedom and justice in our efforts to reach a comprehensive, viable, and lasting settlement of the Cyprus issue. We look to the future, and we will continue promoting initiatives and ideas that will establish the necessary conditions for the resumptions of the negotiating process as per my proposal for the adoption of bold confidence-building measures that would help address concerns and build trust between the two communities. And up until the last day of term in office, I will continue my tireless efforts in reaching a settlement that would reunite Cyprus on the agreed basis of a bizonal, bicommunal federation in line with the UN Security Council resolutions, since we cannot afford to turn the Cyprus issue into yet another frozen conflict. To this end, it is of utmost importance, and I refer to my Turkish Cypriot compatriots, to remain committed to the continuation of the dialogue and abandon any unacceptable demands and preconditions that do not in any way or form serve the interest of the Cypriots, either Greek or Turkish Cypriots. Taking this opportunity, I would like to underline my deep appreciation for the principled stance and the continuous United States support on the Cyprus problem, including on the need for Ankara to refrain from acts that violate UN Security Council resolutions and international law, including the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in thanking once again Judith and Paul for hosting us tonight, I ask you to raise your glasses. Are you holding any glasses? In any case, do it mentally. And join me, I have a glass, in a toast to the enduring...
For some wine?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Enduring friendship, prosperity, and strategic ties between the Republic of Cyprus and the United States. You can say United Nations.
Absolutely.